It's all the same thing, isn't it? One of these.
Huh? I picked on you lately to pray.
Yes, ma'am.
Ham, I picked on you lately to pray.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah. We're all black and white. No, life's good. I was thinking about that because I never pray very long. My wife says, "Oh, you do it Christmas. Help me. Help me get through this."
That's right. I am sorry, but I have to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
I can wait, maybe I can't.
He's got new chairs.
How are you? I know, aren't they cool?
They're so cool.
Be careful.
I'm so good. How are you?
How are you? Good to see you
I'm so
again.
good. Good to see you too.
We could have some chair races.
Amber, did you get everything put together today? All the stuff I put out there. Well, you needed to. I took a truckload out there.
Oh, good heavens. We have a night of whole team full tonight.
Keith, did you lose a bet? Someone makes you wear that shirt? Or you did that by choice? I'm just kidding with you.
Another game. Woohoo, huh?
No, it's good, man. It's good. I gotta give you a hard time.
Okay, my pops want to do.
I will do my best not to knock it over, but with these wheelie chairs,
I know.
can't promise
Hey,
anything.
that's what she just said. We got new chairs. And I go, so I started doing this. And Mr. Ramsey made me stop.
I'm just looking out for your safety, man.
Yeah, you get hurt. We could use all of that 3 supplemental real quick, or 3 million supplemental.
Right. Well, we get paid so much anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Taco balls.
Oh.
Oh, do we have new signs?
Oh, we got new signs.
Wow.
Wow. Nice.
Spelled my name wrong.
Thank you.
Made you look.
Oh. Except our Spartan isn't on there now. You know what? Our Spartan head's not on there now. Where's our Spartan head? Oh, I love it.
That young lady.
Isn't she awesome? It is awesome. Hello.
How are you?
It
Well,
is.
she's also the state champion
I
now,
know
so
it.
she's got it all.
Oh,
going.
she's a sweetheart.
The short one too,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is there some
good.
I was
You
hoping
need
she'd
this,
be
you
here
got one.
tonight.
I have one somewhere in all of this.
I was hoping she'd be here tonight.
That was
Darn.
college classes I had. Which was that big class?
It's 7:09.
7:09.
Still record in that thing's like 22 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to try for less than half an hour.
Oh, where's our
Okay.
We don't have
First
any.
of all, I want to welcome everybody here tonight and thank you for your willingness to come and attend our March board meeting. And Ms. Tibbetts, if you would please do a silent roll call. Call the meeting to order. At this point, we're going to have prayer that Mr. Ramsey is going to lead us in, and then Ivan Guerrero will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Dear Lord, we appreciate this opportunity to gather to make decisions in the best interest of our students and our community and our school. Give us the wisdom to make wise choices, weighing all factors. In your name we pray. Amen.
Join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. We apologize for the lateness of getting in here. We have been having an instructional time with our business manager explaining how the budget is made, and we appreciate all of the information, which is just a little bit that she gave us tonight, so thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions about or comments about tonight's agenda? Okay, then I would entertain a motion for approval of tonight's agenda.
I make a motion that we approve tonight's agenda.
Okay, motion by Mr. Perez, second by Mrs. Anderson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have an agenda. Did anyone have any comments or questions in the consent agenda? We do know that in personnel there was one request to make a name change. There was a typo. And so with that one typo, we can do a consent agenda approval by unanimous consent. Okay? Okay, student representative report. Ms. Gates.
I'm going to use this because I can never work the microphone. All right, so to begin with, our school just got done with our musical, and this year for that it was called the Seussical, so it was all about Dr. Seuss, and that was a success, and all of the schools in our area, they got to come.
Is it still green?
Okay, it came back on. We're good now. And all of the schools got to come and watch that, and it was open to our community to come and watch as well. And we got to have a full house, and so that was really awesome to have like all the sessions full. So that was a big blessing to us. Our winter sports, they just ended, and our spring sports just started at the end of February. And we've already had to reschedule a few of our games due to weather because spring weather is always the best.
We live in Idaho, you know.
I know.
I know.
Okay. And then for our wrestling, so our wrestling team, they won districts and they also went to state this year. And we had three state champs. And okay, thank you. We had three state champs. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. We had three state champs this year, and one of them was Lita Cruz, and she was the first girl to ever win state in the state of Idaho, and she's from Minidoka. So that was pretty awesome, and that's great that she's from our school. She's an amazing girl. She also painted a new mural in our gym, And if you guys haven't seen that yet, you
Beautiful.
definitely have to because the pictures don't do it justice. It's amazing. We also had our Hope Week, and that was a really big success to us. And they had lots of games throughout the week. And if we raised money throughout the week, and if we got over $1,000, Noah would shave his head, which is our school president. And we managed to get over $1,000, and so he shaved his head for us in front of the school. He did half at the first lunch and half at second lunch, and so that was really awesome to watch. Our Builders Academy also, they just went to Florida, and they absolutely loved it. And they had a really fun trip, from what I hear. They're also selling trips for not trips, tickets, not trips, tickets for our Sparta bus. And so if you guys want tickets, you know where to find us. Our caps and gowns for our seniors were also all handed out to us. So that's really exciting. It's getting pretty close. And our student body also, we just went to state a couple weeks ago and we had a blast. And all our breakout sessions, we got a lot of good information to bring back to our school. So we're really excited to apply that. So we're all just really excited for spring break to come up this week, and we're ready. We're gearing up for the end of the school year to come. So thank you. Any questions? All right, thank you guys.
Real quick, I think you mentioned that the state wrestling won districts, but we actually won state as well, did we not?
Yes, we
Yeah,
won
so we were
districts
the
and
state
state.
champions.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gates. Do we have some good news as well from Mount Harrison?
39 days left of the school year.
And would you please give us your name as you start your part of your presentation? If that's, it should be blue.
It should be blue. I think it's okay. There you go.
Can y'all hear me? My name is Holden. I'm with Mount Harrison Student Council. Last month we ended.
It's got to be closer, yes.
Last month
Eat it.
the quarter ended. And just last Thursday we had 6 early graduates.
Wow,
That's awesome.
that's great.
Hi, so my name is Evan Guerrero. I am a new member of the Student Council. I just joined today, and here I am presenting.
And leading the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Way to go.
So this week we have planned a school-wide trip to go to the Idaho State University to their tech fair on Thursday, and we have also ISAT testing this whole week after spring break. And we also have the spring fling the first week of April, and we also have star testing, and we have 2 new members of student council, me and of course Cole. And I'll hand it off to Anthony.
Cool. My name is Anthony Adams. I'm the SATs. SATs on April 12th, March 28th. March 28th, United. I can't read that. United Electric. Coming to tech to talk 11th and 12th for apprenticeships. Trio with seniors on the 16th about scholarships, Hope Week weekends, early bell shuttle. Schedule. The games are starting at 1 p.m. There is also 39 days in a quarter.
Nice.
Okay, thank
So
you.
United Electric, you said came and talked to you guys. Is that right? And or they are coming. Okay.
And let's talk about the seniors and the juniors about like offers for an apprenticeship.
Apprenticeship. Okay. That's
So
great.
I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah.
I think it'd be, I've always kind of wanted to be an electrician, so we'll see what happens.
That's a good.
That's great.
You want to
Good
climb
profession.
poles? Okay,
Yeah. There we go. Thank you guys.
you.
thank you. And thank you for being willing to come and tell us what's going on, even though you're scared to death. Mr. Durant, are you giving us some good news from your school tonight, or is someone else doing it?
It's me. I'll be glad to do that.
Do we dare ask how the happy birthday boy is?
You can ask, but it's not my birthday anymore.
I know.
I'm on the other side. I turned 46, so I'm closer to 50 now than I am 40. Something. But it's something. Yeah. My birthday falls right at March Madness time, and so my wife thinks I celebrate my birthday for the entire month of March. She's probably not wrong about that. But I appreciate having a couple minutes tonight to bring some good news from East Minico, and actually this is kind of good news from both our middle schools as we head in through this week. Back in the summertime, Mr. Heath and I were talking about what we can do at our school to kind of increase student activity, get them involved with things outside of just athletics that we offer. So we started pursuing ideas about different clubs and groups and things that students can do. And Mr. Heath at one point in that conversation said to me, "What do you think about doing a school play?" And I was like, "Cool, I like plays. Let's do it." And he said, "I'd like to run with that." And as many of you know, that's kind of up his alley. And I was really glad that he took the reins on that because I think it's a great idea. We thought it was a great idea back in the summer, and so it's been a long time coming, and here we are on the eve of our first performance. In fact, they're doing a performance tonight for the staff of East and West Minico over at East Minico tonight. So we're really excited about it. I just wanted to give you just a couple of, bits of information about the play. So like I mentioned, the goal of the show as we created it was to create positive performing arts experiences for students before they reach high school so they can pursue or explore different things that they might be interested, including the arts. We have 45 cast and crew members between East and West Minico. We also have 3 students from Rupert Elementary and 1 from Paul Elementary. So lots of involvement going on across our school district. As we connected with West Minico, we had to decide how in the world are we going to get the students over to East that are participating in the play from West Minico. And Mr. Kniep and Mr. Fairchild made a commitment to drive those kids over to East Minico every single afternoon. And so I commend them for making that happen for us. And it's been just a terrific experience as we have headed through the process. I'm not sure. I've heard that there's been plays at the middle school level. I haven't witnessed one in my time here in 12 years. I don't know if there's been a combined play like this between the middle schools before. So we're really excited to be able to offer that. It's a unique experience that our middle schoolers are able to participate in. All the sound, lights, set, and props are 100% managed by middle school students during the performances, with Mr. Heath, Mrs. Birch, and Mrs. Johnson providing training and supervision. You can see in the picture on the left there, all those guys are kind of there. That was the end of rehearsal meeting time. They have technical terms for that, but it's a meeting time with all the kids. I was able to watch a lot of rehearsals over the last couple weeks. I got a shot of that sitting in that chair, and I thought, this is so cool to see these adults just working with this stage full of middle school kids, and they were all excited. This conversation had a lot to do with, we need all of you to shower. We need all of you to wear deodorant. We need all of you to wash your hair. Because like the makeup people and the hair people have to put their hands all over these kids, and it was kind of a funny conversation, but just really cool to see that. I just was so impressed with that as I've watched the process, and we've had a very positive response from the community. We've received of nearly $3,000 in sponsorships. Sponsors were given complimentary tickets in return for their generous contributions. All the sponsorships and donations have covered the cost of the play, including set and everything else. Any money we make on tickets will actually kind of help us with seed money for next year and so forth. So it's been very cool. I had somebody come in and buy tickets today, bought tickets, and then gave a donation. So really good response from the community. Had dozens of parents get involved, making costumes, painting, and building the set pieces, which are pretty cool if you get to come watch. It's actually really well done. So lots of help from parents and their involvement. Mrs. Birch is our choir director. She's the assistant director also and music director, and gave up her Monday and Tuesday nights to help with the show. Mrs. Johnson, our orchestra instructor, is stage manager and puts in one night a week to check in with the tech team. So she helps with the technology and the music and stuff like that. The district maintenance crew has been amazing. They've helped us get the auditorium back in working order, including Mr. Ramsey coming in with his tools, as we've all seen him do one Friday, and started fixing broken seats. So appreciate that, Mr. Ramsey. There was quite a bit of work to do on the auditorium, and it's getting done. So kudos to them as well. And I guess the last thing I'd mention is I think this confirms what we all knew. Mr. Heath is out of his mind to take on such a project, but it'll be really worth your time to come and check it out if you can. Like I said, I sat and watched many of the rehearsals the last couple weeks, and I'm just super proud of the kids. They're amazingly talented. They're committed. They know their lines. They're sold on the show, and it's just a wonderful thing for our community, our schools. It's involved a lot of people, and appreciate the support that we have from you. And thanks to those that have been involved with this, because it's been a really good thing for our kids. They're already talking about next year and so on. So it's really, really good for our students. So I appreciate that.
Tell again what nights is it being presented?
So Wednesday night's opening night. Tomorrow we're going to show it to our student body at 9 and 10:30 in the morning, and then Wednesday night will be kickoff night, opening night. Kickoff. See, you can tell I like football, right? It's kickoff night, but it's opening night. It's opening night on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 o'clock, and then Saturday matinee at 1 o'clock. So I did bring you all some tickets, so you can come at your leisure over the next handful of days. So.
Oh, wow.
Questions for me about that? It'd be great to see you there. Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Durant? Other than congratulations. I think this is amazing and wonderful that you guys are cooperating on this, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kniep, for helping with travel with those kids and stuff. That's a lot, but it's awesome.
I appreciate that, but hopefully we got a top-notch vice principal. It makes things like this easy. It's not just me. I'm appreciative of my whole entire team.
Uptown, I'm going to the theater.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And to answer your question, or your one, I guess a question, Mr. Durant. I'm not going to say my age, but yes, we used to put on plays when we were at East Minico, long time ago. Bonnie used to play in the band and piano, and I was on stage. So
I'm sure we can dig up these footage.
no, I don't think so. I think they're clear underneath somewhere long ago.
They got,
But we had a great theater there.
yeah, we did. It was a lot of fun. That's what happens when you're the first class in 8th grade going through that school right after it was
That's
built.
right. We had it brand new. We broke it in.
I think a lot of the costumes and sets and stuff that was still there probably came from that.
Probably.
A lot of hanging out.
We are not telling you our age.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much
you so
for
much.
these. This is awesome. Appreciate it.
Okay, are there any patron comments that were turned in? Okay. Did anyone have any comments or questions for anyone on the administrator, department, and committee reports?
Summer school. It's gonna go, right? Who's in
Well,
charge of
that's
summer
coming
school?
up. The proposal is further down, so
Okay.
yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Mr. Ramsey's superintendent report, short and sweet per usual. You're not filling us in on your activities on Fridays, you know. Well, we know that you did that, but
I went to East and put in a whiteboard and a outlet cover. And it was all easy. I mean, you don't have to be a electrician to put a cover on. It's very simple. It's just the stack of maintenance requests are like this, and I love to go do on Friday.
he calls it Jeans Day.
Thank you.
We just want that on the report too. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
We have no policies to discuss this month, and then we have a proposal for summer school that is before us. And Ms. Woodmeyer, do you have anything that you wanted to add to that, or
I had sent you some concerns that
we had?
and I brought our team to answer any questions you guys have about it.
Okay, I know that there were concerns about administration, numbers, kids, amount of money. Is there any further information that we can be given regarding this? I inquired, and I don't remember anyone ever telling us that Mr. Contos, when he was doing summer school, had a specific amount of money for that. I just wondered, I saw that there was a budgeted amount here, and I just wondered what's different.
Because, okay, so we've always budgeted $80,000 for the salaries.
And that covers benefits and
No,
just the salaries. Okay.
Benefits were on top of that.
Okay.
So it's always been kind of the same.
Okay. I just never seen it before. That's why I was wondering. There.
So do you have any specific questions?
Do you feel good about it? Do you feel good about it?
Our team feels very good about We've put together a lot of time and research into the different pieces that we put in here. You may have noticed a 2-day credit recovery piece. That is something that the state has been very thanks, make me do that. They've been very excited by Maggie's credit recovery program. They say that that is best practices for alternative education, not to require students to do it by seat time necessarily, unless their score is such that they should repeat a course. And so you will notice that they came up with a plan to incorporate both repeating courses for those students who had below a 45% in the class, and a fast track credit recovery for those that had a 45% or higher or missed their credit due to attendance. So they will do theirs in 10 hours. Is that correct, Maggie?
That's the plan, yeah.
I'm going to let you speak to that credit recovery because you know it better than I do.
So it'll be a 10-hour?
So the idea is that it's 10 hours to recover a credit if you had a 45 or more. And the thought behind it is that you're really only building a 15% gap between 45% and 60%, which is passing. And if they're making up hours, if they've missed over the 9 days that they're allowed at Minico, most of them haven't missed 10 days over. 10 days over is 10 hours, and that really makes up the time. But the way that they're doing it is, in order to get the credit, the student is required to do both the time and the assignments given by the teacher. And this is not an Edgenuity course. This is with live teachers who are customizing the work for what the kids actually need, what their deficits are. So,
But they have to get a passing grade. I mean, even their attendance is there. They still need
They
to get
still
a
have to
passing
have a passing grade. They have to do all of the assignments, and they have to be there for the full 10 hours. They're not allowed to miss any time based on our plan.
Okay.
So,
In the past, they've been allowed to miss a day.
yeah, in the past, they've been allowed to miss one day, but that's when we had the full 3 weeks per credit. This would just be, because it's 10 hours, you can't miss any time at all. I think we put a 15-minute cushion, and that was it. So if they're tardy a little bit, then wouldn't kick them out entirely. The good news about that is that it makes it easier as an administrator to be pretty stringent, because if they say they're signed up for the first session and they miss their time, they're out, but they're not completely out of luck because they could do it in a later session if the same class is being offered. So like if they're offering a 12A, they can do a 12A later. The other options, so first session, we've got a lot of credit recovery classes set up, but there's also a full 12A, English 12A session, and that's because that's when the big research paper is done. And so if a student hasn't done the research paper, they have to take that full 12A to complete that research paper. If they miss their 12A credit, but they did complete the research paper, then they're able to do it in the credit recovery. So we've kind of adjusted and allowed for that. In the second session, you'll see that those are all full classes. Those are for people who either haven't had the class before or got a 44 or lower. Okay. So
The advantage is to
well, yeah, the advantage in the past when we've done summer school, the most credits you can get is just 2. And a lot of our kids are further behind than that. So it feels like I'm working myself out of a job here. But honestly, our goal is not to get kids to Mount Harrison. Our goal is to be able to keep them at Minico, especially if they've got ties to all the extracurricular stuff that's going on. We know that's what's best for kids. And so if we design a plan that can help more students be successful in summer school, they can get up to 7 credits depending on what they need and whether they qualify, which we're hoping can allow some students to stay at Minico. So.
And we're not planning on allowing kids to just take classes to get ahead.
Yeah.
That's not what
This is this is purely an at-risk. This is just an alternative summer school. The state only pays us for the alternative kids anyway. So in the past, what we've done is we've let them pay $75 to get ahead. So we're not doing that. We want to make it purely at risk, purely alternative, and then kids who want to get ahead can do IDLA. And that's, I think, $75 a credit. So it's kind of a wash for them, but it allows us to make this really an at-risk summer school.
Thank you.
How are the students recruited for this, or how are they identified? Do you identify them and then go after them and say, here's an option for you?
Yes. So at middle school, we get a list of the kids who are not going to progress, and so they have to go to summer school. And we haven't adjusted the middle school summer school at all. We're thinking if this is successful, this credit recovery idea, that maybe in the future we can expand it to middle school. But we don't want to try to do everything all at once because that's a recipe for disaster. So we thought, well, we'll pilot it with the high school, see how it goes. And our hope is this. In the past summer school, a lot of kids don't complete it. And that's because it's a 3-week commitment. It's in their summer. It's all day. It gets to them. Our hope is that by allowing these credit recovery opportunities, we're going to get more students participating, which means more success, which means more success at Minico, more success at Mount Harrison, improves our grad rate. I mean, it's just, we're hoping this is a good plan for kids. And because we're only rolling it out to the high school and only for that first session, the idea is that if it doesn't work, if this blows up in our face, we can just roll it back. We just don't do it again. I mean, you don't know unless you try. And we thought this is a good year to try because we do have a little bit of a buffer with some ESSER funds. So, if we do lose some funding, that could help.
So are the counselors, I think what he was saying, the counselors will help with this in deciding?
Our counselors have been keeping a watch list all year of students they will be meeting personally with these students and giving them the option. We asked the counselors to hold off until we could get this plan solidified and get it approved by the board. And so as soon as they have the go-ahead, they're gonna be meeting with students. And we've already had some parents call that really want their kids in summer school, and I've just been telling them, be patient, be patient, be patient, we're almost there, we're almost there. But they will be meeting along with recommending some students that did not go to Mount Harrison but will need credits this summer, or they'll have to start in the fall. But we did send a handful of students this last quarter that are severely behind in credits. They don't have an option. We had to make a choice for them. So Mr. Merrill and Mrs. Coffin have been working on that for the last couple of weeks actually, because their reporter started today.
Okay. Okay.
But yes, our counselors are planning on meeting with students.
And I asked our administrative team today what they estimated for students that may need this, and it's anywhere from 225 kids to 345 that could potentially take advantage of this summer.
The biggest problem we have at the high school is that they can only recover 2 credits. So we have a lot of students that just, no, not doing it. Because they can only salvage 2 credits in the summer, and they give up their whole summer. So this gives them the option, you know, they can go and they can make up some credits. Now, it's not offered to those kids that get below 45% or fail the class completely, you know.
For those students, they would have to take the full course.
And that will be their 3 weeks.
Our team was really excited about this program. I think there's some real opportunity here for our students to be successful and graduate on time with their peers, which is every student's goal.
That's good. Good idea.
So I do know that in the past I've heard of a few students who have said, well, I'll just take it in summer school. It's easier to pass then anyway. So what you have done is created something that's not easy just to get the credit.
Correct. That's what they
slack during the year. I mean, if they can't get a 30% expect to
go to summer school.
This is a great idea. We had there's a lot of kids we lost academically, a lot of bad grades during that COVID downtime, and getting them back. We're still struggling to get a lot of them back to the mentality that school is tough. You gotta be present. You gotta pay attention.
There'll be a handful of kids going to summer school from our online week. We'll put them 5 to 6 days over their attendance. They didn't check in at all. They did nothing. So they'll be attending probably one of those 10-hour sessions to get a credit back.
Okay. So does anyone have any other questions for our administrators and all?
The one piece that I do want to point out is we do need to be competitive with Cassia County and what they're paying for their summer school. Their summer school is going to be running simultaneously with ours, and they currently are going to be paying their teachers $30 an hour, their paras $20 an hour, and every one of them who make it through the entire period, they get a $500 bonus on top of that.
So you said teachers 30, paras
20,
and a $500 bonus. Can I sign up?
If they do not miss any days. So
Can I sign up?
I know, that's what I said, and I'm worried that we've got a lot of teachers who've done this they're very dedicated to our program, but if we're not competitive, what's to say? I mean, money's tight and gas is going through the roof. I mean, I don't want to lose any of those great teachers just because we're not competitive in that respect.
How many teachers are we talking?
I think I have down.
I guess I could look.
It's 16 teachers, I believe.
Yeah, 16.
And then with the classified and the administrators, depending on how we do the administration, could be up to 18 and a half for the $500 bonus. I've put the calculation in there for what it would be.
I just didn't.
So the budget that you have in the attachment is the one with this $20 and $30 rate?
I did not calculate it at that. I calculated it at our 2750 for teachers and our 1286 for classified. The piece that I gave to you at the bottom was the idea of a $500 bonus, how much extra that would cost us. I just added that in there at the bottom. I've given you both calculations, what it would cost us without it and what it would cost with it.
Okay.
So that little box that says 9,250, that's calculating the $500 bonus.
Yes, for all of the individuals that would qualify.
But only 27 an hour, right?
Yes, I only calculated their salaries at $27.50. The other advantage that we have is we calculated the seat hours, and we can accomplish summer school in 5 weeks versus 5 days a week versus 6. It's traditionally been 6, but they can finish their 60 hours of seat time in 5 weeks. 5-day weeks.
5-day weeks. 5-day weeks. Okay.
Yes, and in talking with both maintenance and transportation, they were thrilled with that idea simply because it gives their bus drivers a little bit of extra time off and maintenance a little bit of extra time to accomplish work in the buildings.
Do you already have the teachers lined up for this?
No, I'm waiting for your approval
you're waiting. Okay, so you are waiting for
before I
us.
post for positions. And right now we have 2, just to answer the question about an administrator and an administrative designee, I have 2 applicants. We have Josh Greenwald and Ariel Newman have both applied. One has a degree in administration and one is going to be working on their admin degree. And Ariel is the counselor at Mount Harrison, and she has a great deal of experience with at-risk kids. Does she have a master's in counseling with at-risk?
Pardon me? I think we do. I think we can make it work. Do you agree, Mr. Ramsey?
Yes. How's this budget compare with the last time we did summer school in a normal year?
So, according to Michelle's comparison, without the bonuses in there, we are actually, I think, $7,000 less. And John Contos is going to come. He should be here anytime now. He was going to be able to answer a few of your questions when it comes to the budget, and he went through this with us and talked us through the number of staff we might need, and he was on board with the numbers and the figures that we had there.
Okay, so that was last year. This is this year.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
There may be a little bit of discrepancy on the administrative pay because we're missing a few things. That's what I'm commenting
On that. Okay. Okay.
And we will be bringing in less revenue.
Yeah, because it's.
Do you think that 2750?
Bring in less students.
Do you think that 2750 will get us the staff that we need? I mean, you mentioned that Burley's up a little bit higher. Do you think that 2750 will get us the people that we need?
We have a lot of dedicated staff. I think we'll get our returning staff, but we do need to be fair with them. Jamie, how many do you have currently for the elementary? Because we get a lot of returning to our elementary program as well.
I'll have 4 positions that won't be covered from last year, so I'll be looking for 4 new applicants to cover those this year. They didn't do the same amounts last year at CAJA, and I did have some teachers remark, well, if it's this way next year, I'll apply over there.
Okay. Said we'll fix it next year.
Did we offer this last year?
We did not.
And what did we offer pay wise? Was it 2750?
No, last year we did
Wouldn't come here,
25
they'd go to
for
CAJA because they were
teachers
paying more
and 11
last year.
16 7 for paras. My son is a after-school para at Burley Akaja schools, and he will be making $20 an hour plus eligible for that bonus with their program this year. And it seems like a disservice to the people that I work with as far as paraeducators too. So
I think we need to.
Only $8 more an hour than my paras.
Okay.
Are they using ESSER funds for that? Where this is alternative funding?
That I don't know.
It's migrant and ESSER funds that they're using.
Credit recovery and remediation and intervention, so I'm assuming that's where that source of revenue is coming from.
Mr. Ramsey.
The one thing that, I'm sorry.
It's my opinion we need to serve our students. And if it's, what's the price difference? Are we having a discussion about raising the pay rate or?
Well, so I can answer one thing about, so the stipend rate, last year you approved it increased, that's why it's $27.50 now on July 1st. That was increased, so that's where that $27.50.
Okay.
So anytime we do a stipend of any type, it's based on that 27.
At this time, we are just advocating for the bonus. I think with the $27.50, we should be. Jamie, would you agree?
I would agree, but if we could bump up the para to at least $15 an hour, it would be beneficial.
Another thing, as far as the secondary is concerned, we do believe that our new credit recovery program is going to bring in more, is going to have more students participate simply because they don't need to take off work for an extended period of time. It's pretty easy to take off for 2 days from work to get a credit versus 3 weeks.
Okay. Does anyone have any other further questions?
Do we have to finalize this tonight?
I would love for you to finalize that tonight.
I think we need to so they can get their staff in line. Do you have?
So just so I can get clarification, if we were to finalize this tonight, where would this budget come from? Where would the money? Do we?
She said there's credit recovery funds, right?
So our summer school, I'll tell you, our summer school actually generates dollars. I don't want the mic. I don't even need the mic. So our units generate enough to bring summer school in. Summer school is a money maker for the school district.
Okay.
We actually use those units we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
To help with everything in the budget. Summer school can bring you in from 3 to 4 units a year. And yet, you remember what I told you,
Yep.
how much a unit is. But that also helps with the remainder of the budget. So that's where the money comes from.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
So I see the total for the bonuses here, but if we increase the hourly to 30 and increase the para wages to match Burley, do you have an idea how much that would cost?
I would have to recalculate that, but I could do that for you.
So if we were to go with the $27.50 this year and the $15 for para and an incentive of $500 at the end of the year of the time frame, is that something that you believe is doable?
It is for my migrant budget for the elementary. I don't know I can't speak for the general fund.
Okay.
It's something you have to decide because when we planned our budget, that on that budget page we had 80,000, so that's on your guys' to decide that.
So we're going to increase that line item.
You're increasing your summer school line, and once you do it once, okay?
It'll go. I know that.
Okay.
But I also think.
But we need to stay competitive.
It's that competition across the river sometimes that I don't like, but we do have to consider it.
And I think they're forgetting sometimes the ESSER funds are going to run out.
Right.
And then how do you go backwards after the ESSER funds run out?
I do know they quit paying $210 for a certified substitute.
Right. Yeah. They'll do that and then they'll have to take it back.
Yeah.
That just looks bad.
Yeah. So.
And this incentive deal would be like a stipend. It's determined every year depending on the funds available.
Right.
Right.
Is there anything that's going to determine who would qualify for that 500? Just anyone who does it is going to automatically qualify?
For the whole time. They have to stick out the whole time.
Okay.
It would be anybody who's paid hourly.
Okay. Is there a certain, like, if they miss a certain amount of time, will they not qualify for that bonus?
They would not.
Okay.
They have to be there. It's such a short period of time. They would have to be there for every day.
Okay. Thank you.
Any further questions? Do we have a motion that anyone is willing to make? Oh, well, this is still discussion.
Still discussion.
That's right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're just in discussion.
I'm just wanting to get through it, I guess. Okay. Any further questions then? All right, then we will move on to the 21-22 revised budget. You guys act like that thing's gonna bite you. I just want you to know that.
She's like, I don't want it. Put your head in front of the camera.
Shoot. Okay. I believe that the revised 21-22 budget, we got a lot of that in our work session with Miss DeLuna, and probably a little bit more than what we thought we were going to get, but thank you again for that information because it was very, very helpful. So do you all have any further questions regarding anything that you've thought of since we had our work session? Okay.
I think I got my questions answered. So
Got to fill. Not filled up.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's good? Okay, then we will move on to our business action items. The first one is we need to accept, validate, I guess, the student discipline of 21122-1 student. And so we would need a motion regarding that disciplinary action.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, can you say it?
I make the motion to accept the student disciplinary. Just a second, you changed it on.
A disciplinary action.
02-11-22-1.
Okay. Motion by Mrs. Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Sukan. Any further comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. We had a Mount Harrison High School school group name change request and fundraisers. I think I understand after reading through that the whole reason for this proposal. At first I was a little confused. So does anybody have any further questions for Ms. Fortnor or anyone with Mount Harrison? To me, it's if a kid hasn't graduated with his or with their cohort, then they need that opportunity to continue to get to have those activities. And I think this one is another one of those helpful things for students. So, does anyone have any other comments or questions? Then I would entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion.
You have to say it out loud.
Really?
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I know that's what we found out at our meetings.
All right. Make the motion that we approve the MHHS school group name change request and fundraiser.
And fundraisers. Okay, motion by Mr. Sukan. Second by Mr. Perez. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And next is our approval of summer school proposals. After our discussion, does anyone have any further comments or questions regarding this? Mrs. Anderson. You said Madam Chair.
I know, but now I'm looking. Yes, that's what I thought. I thought that too. Okay, Madam Chair, I want to make the motion to approve, after discussion, approve the summer school proposal.
Okay, I am so sorry because I was being.
That's what I thought.
Talking. So would you tell that again, please? Sorry. Is a motion made by Mrs. Anderson to approve the summer school proposals as presented? As presented,
As presented or with?
or with the increase?
With the modification to the budget.
With modification to the budget.
With modification from the budget? To the budget? Yes. You're adding that. A motion to approve the summer school proposals with modification to the budget.
Correct.
That is correct. Okay. That was made by who? Mrs.
Me.
Anderson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Parker. Does anyone have any other comments or questions? No one's looking at me.
I do actually. The modification, are we talking about the modification being just $15 an hour for parapros and keeping the $27.50 for the actual teachers?
Yes.
And the 500.
And the $500 incentive for
I
those
would,
who go all the
okay,
way through it.
thank you.
Okay. And 15 for classified. 15 for parents, yes.
Yeah.
With the $500 bonus.
Correct.
I'll get one. Incentive.
Do you want me to redo it?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
I'll just, yeah. So we have a motion on the floor and a second. Does anyone have any other comments or questions? Again. Okay. I would see. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. You have your summer school program. Can we go back to that, or do we need to do something different? Under new personnel, I had made a comment about a typo, but there was also a change in salary schedule that we were proposing with a stipulation. So we can go back and change that. Just a second. Okay, advertise. Okay, who made the original motion? I don't remember. Oh, that was consent agenda, so never mind. But there was the stipulation that we had said.
Right.
We had stated that there would be a stipulation on a salary in the salary schedule.
Correct. Classified salaries.
Classified salary schedule. And that was also part of the consent agenda.
Personnel was, yes.
Personnel.
So can we make a
Do we need a motion?
motion?
Since we're adding that stipulation.
Just put it as a clarification.
Clarification. That works for me. Ms. Tibbetts, would you please include that in the minutes as a clarification to personnel classified salary schedule? Okay. All right, with that, we will move on to the approval of the revised 21-22 budget. This is for Michelle. Anyone have any comments or questions still?
I hope not.
I think we got it all done earlier. My head is still hurting from it.
Yeah,
So,
my brain's
okay.
hurting, but
Pardon me?
yeah, my brain is also hurting from that. That 1 hour plow session.
1 hour, a 500-day page in 1 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. She does that on purpose.
I would entertain a motion for approval of the revised 21-22 budget as presented.
Madam Chair, I propose that we approve the revised 2021-22 budget.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. Motion by Mr. Perez. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Parker. Any further comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Did anyone have any comments or questions on any of our policies for this app that we have before us tonight? There are 5 of them. They all can be passed on the first reading as there's clarification on them. They come from the state, a lot of them from ISBA.
Enrollment was also already reviewed, discussed by you guys at a prior meeting. It just missed being put on.
Yeah. So that number 1 is just one we saw a while ago, and it's back on here for approval at this time. The other 4 are just the ones that policy review has been over and gone through and made changes that we've already discussed, especially on number 5. And number 4, you have to behave yourself on school property is basically what that says. No being rude, nasty, or otherwise obnoxious. I don't think those words are in there, but yeah, I know it was.
We had something on it that was that big from a long time ago.
Yeah. Okay. So I would entertain a motion for acceptance of policy D304.00 dual enrollment, policy D355.00 fees and fines, policy D352.00 interscholastic activities, policy D426.10 conduct on school property, and policy D954.00 emergency closures. Is anyone willing to make that motion?
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion that we accept the policies D304.00 dual enrollment.
You don't have to read them.
Do I have to read
No,
them?
you don't have to.
Thank you so very much. That's going to be good. I thought mine didn't get conduct on school property or something here. Anyway, I make that motion that we accept these policies.
Okay,
1
motion
through
by
5.
Mrs. Anderson made the motion to approve policies 1 through 5 as read.
Second.
Second by Mr. Sukin. Does anyone have any other comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there any other things that need to be brought before us at the moment? Later?
Yeah.
Now or later?
I can do it later.
Okay.
But
I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Sukan. He was quick on that. Second by Mrs. Anderson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.